So thanks for tuning in, guys and gals, people everywhere. We really appreciate you coming here. Every week we like to talk about what's going on Florida's Emerald Coast. Kaylee Fusey, Jackson Stanford, couple folks that are just getting started in their real estate careers. I couldn't be more excited about what's ahead for them. So I don't know, between now and last week, I went to Vegas. We talked about what's going on for a real estate convention, Keller Williams Real Estate Convention. It was great. Talked about what's going on. Just to give you some sense of what's going on. Gary Keller came out. Yeah, and he talked about what was happening. We're in the winter, all right? Mm-hmm. We're in the winter of a real estate market. It's cold, it's dark, nothing's growing, it's hard, okay? But after the winter comes the spring. And in the spring is when the market tends to grow. Things start to happen. Summer is when it really goes. And then in the fall, things start to die off again and we go into the spring. Now, it doesn't coincide with our seasons here. That's just the season of the real estate cycle. And we're just in the winter. It's cold. Everybody was talking about it at this convention. I thought I needed to park it, for God's sake. And it's true. But here's the way the markets go. All right. When you start talking, by the time you start talking about them, they're almost over.
Yep. Okay.
They've been talking about the soft landing, the this, that, and the other thing with the economy forever, and it's finally come and gone. And I think what that means for us in our real estate market is, I don't think price is going to drop.
No.
If they do, it's going to be a little bit for a little bit. I think we're going to see some increase in price. And for the simple reason, there's just not enough inventory. There's more people that want to own properties than there are properties to own. Simple as that. So at any rate, I was out in Vegas. Went to 2 magic shows and an O show. You guys ever done, you know what I'm talking about?
No.
Cirque du Soleil. So cool, but the magic was it was magic.
It was magical?
Yeah, it was magical. I'm just going to tell you for a second, all right? Imagine, have you ever seen a package of ramen noodles?
Yes.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, of course.
All right, so a pack of ramen noodles. Guy has $1 or $100 bills. Anybody here have a $100 bill? Some dumbass says, yeah, I do. Oh, here, let me see it, right? So the magician takes it and he says, here, write your name on it. So he writes his name, dumbass. And the magician says, all right, anybody else have one? And nobody's like giving one, right? So he takes it and he's, all right. And he folds it up and it just disappears. And the show goes on for an hour, right? And at the end of the show, he's like, okay, here he's got this whole pile, probably 100 ramen noodles packages. And he calls an audience member up, just some random up. And she picks out I don't know, shrimp and garlic or whatever, right? And it's this packet. No, it was the dude who gave him the $100 came up and he picked it out, some random bag, just any bag. Picked out 2 bags. He said, which one do you want? All right, threw the one away. Okay, it's a sealed bag of ramen freaking noodles, right? Mm-hmm. All right, open it up. He opens it up and there's the noodles and then there's an inside packet of cheese. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And that thing's sealed. Mm-hmm. He says, all right, open that one. Guy opens it up and says, look inside. What's in there? Takes out a $100 bill with the guy's name on it.
That's insane.
What the hell?
That's awesome.
What the hell? And I'm just going, what the hell? It was so great. So that's what I did. What did y'all do? What did you do last week? Anything fun?
Last week, let's see. I don't know. I stayed here. We held down the fort. We had open house yesterday. We've been calling around, trying to buckle down in this tough market.
Where's the open house? Where were you?
Open house was on Okaloosa Island.
Okay.
Yep. At Venus.
Venus.
Yeah, it was actually 2 units.
Yeah.
I thought it went really well. Weather held out.
You know who liked it?
Who?
Your mom.
My mom loved it. My mom wants to buy it.
Your mom wants to buy
Y'all
it.
better watch out.
I was like, Jackson, I think someone's walking up. And I was like, got ready. And then it was his mom. And I was like, oh.
Love it. So my wife, who does property management, and your mom, who works with my wife, does property management. Your dad, who works with doing all the maintenance and stuff. And so she told me, yeah, I think Kim wants to buy that condo. And I'm like, okay, right? Because here's the way I think. Okay, cool. How much does it bring in? Wow, it brings in, I think, what's the list? 250?
Yeah, it was like 257.
Yeah.
All right, 250. So a lot more than 25,000.
Yes.
And the reason why it's 25,000 is it's the multiple. If you're going to pay 250 for a property, you want at least 25,000 at 10
Right.
on it, right? And she said, oh, it does way more than 25,000. So I'm thinking, okay, now we got taxes, insurance, we got HOA, we got, are we going to cash flow on this thing? And she was like, yeah, I think so. I'm like, okay, might be a good buy.
Yeah.
Jackson, you might have a place.
See Jackson in 106.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think, Jackson, you're getting ready to go to Savannah, Georgia.
Yeah, I'm going up to Savannah this weekend with my girlfriend to go see Parker McCollum. To all my
Nice.
country music fans out there. Yeah, it should be.
Yeah,
a
I don't
great
know who
time.
that is. What?
He's got some good songs. Newer guy, younger guy. I actually went and saw him with a buddy in college, and we sat down. He sung his first song. Comes out and he goes, my name's Parker McCollum. If your girlfriend or your wife drug you here, that's my name. And me and my buddy looked at each other and go,
Oh,
maybe we're at the wrong show.
your significant other?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. We like that. I'll give you another story. We roll into Vegas, and everybody's just buzzing, just excitement, energy everywhere. I'm like, what on earth is going on here? I mean, there are people everywhere, and they're dressed up wacky. Not my style. Look at me. I don't have much style, and it certainly wasn't that. But they were there for a Bad Bunny concert. Do you all know who Bad Bunny is?
Yes, one of my friends at school at LSU is obsessed. Anytime we got in my car, it was just Bad Bunny.
Bad Bunny's a thing.
Can we play something I know and I can understand?
Bad Bunny. I'm like, Bad Bunny. Like, is it I don't know what Bad Bunny is. But yeah, it was a thing. People were in line for hours, and all night, boom, 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 boom. Right, and all night means like 8:30 for me. But yeah, at any rate, so that's what's going on there. Let's talk about real estate. Let's get into it, right? Because this podcast is about what happens with real estate, generally speaking, and then significantly, or more importantly, on Florida's Emerald Coast. So I'm going to go into the news. Let's talk about what's in the news first and foremost, okay? What we're going to talk about first is property taxes, because if you own property in the state of Florida, oh my, taxes are killer. I know a lot of our people bought, and when they bought, they do their value analysis based on taxes. And because prices have jumped so much so quickly and property values escalate as prices go up, so do property taxes. And when you buy a property, you generally look at what the property taxes were for that year. The smartest of investors will play it forward and say, okay, when the prices go up, it's going to reset my prices and whatnot. But it can hit folks hard. We had one client call and say, oh my God, my property taxes doubled. And we're like, yeah, but here's the other thing that doubled, the value of your property.
Correct.
Yep.
And he's like, oh yeah, well, good. All right, one of those things. So at any rate, but it's a thing. It's a significant thing, especially if you're on a fixed income. And what happened is, I can't remember when it was, but 10 years ago, maybe even longer, 20 years ago, Florida passed a law called Save Our Homes, because the property taxes were going up so fast. A lot of people on fixed income couldn't afford, even though they had no mortgage, they couldn't afford the property tax. They were forced to move. So they capped it at 3% a year. It could only go up 3%. Now, when the property values go down, well, your taxes go down. But when they jump 10, 15, 30% year over year, it can really be devastating for some folks. So they capped it. And so what's happening right now is we've had 11 years of positive growth in the state of Florida, right? And what happens is called a cap reset. So the new owner doesn't get the value of your, it's called, I just lost it. What's it called, Katie, when you own a place in Florida? Homestead. There you go. It's a homestead exemption. I'm getting old. Thank you, Katie, for participating. So yeah, they made that the homestead, so it can only go up 3%, but that's not on investment properties. That's only on your primary residence, your homestead. And here, meet tomorrow, Friday, and this post tomorrow, but Friday is the last day to do it. Anna bought that house this year. We're gonna homestead her house. So you got to do it by tomorrow. So at any rate, it's a big thing. It keeps your taxes from going up. But what's happened is people are starting to freak out now because the rate has changed again, even though with that cap, it's changed so much in the last 2-3 years that people are just getting smoked, the ones that didn't homestead. So there's some talk about what's going on. There might be some more legislation coming, but pay attention to that, people. If you own a property, check your homestead, make sure you get it homesteaded, and taxes. It's part of the game, right? You get penalized when it goes up, but you're being penalized because it's going up.
Yeah.
So that's good news. All right, let's go to the next thing. What is next? It says next is insurance. Oh, sorry, I just threw up.
Insurance?
Right? Another cost that is just exploded.
Yeah. We're seeing it everywhere.
It's just exploding. Car insurance, home insurance, life insurance. I don't know. Insurance for your crypto purchase, whatever. Insurance is going crazy. But here's the good news. There's a little good news. We had Brad Davies in here, what was that, a couple months ago? You can go on to Smart Beach Investor to our website or our YouTube site, and you'll see Brad. He's an insurance guy. He talked about what's going on. He didn't think that prices were going to come down, but he was of the mind that prices for insurance weren't going to keep going up, and they've gone up dramatically. So here's what's going on in the state of Florida. Well, first of all, let's give some background. State of Florida has been hit with a lot of hurricanes over the last several years. So the insurance companies have taken massive hits. There's more houses here, bigger houses, more expensive houses, costs a lot for insurance companies to get hit hard. And then you throw in the COVID stuff and the delays in getting stuff to repair, and just the cost of everything has gone up so much. I think in the Midwest and out west, they've had forest fires. There's so much going on, and the insurance companies got hit hard. And I'm not crying for the insurance companies. When they make money, they make a lot of money. The problem is when they lose money, they lose a lot of money too. But why it even matters to us is apparently there are, the state of Florida, according to Spectrum News 13 out of Orlando, Florida, it says here the state of Florida has seen 7 new companies enter the market when it comes to homeowners insurance this year. All right, 7 new companies. That's good. And the expectation is this is going to help stabilize the insurance industry, right? The prices, stop them from going down. The Insurance Information Institute, I bet that's fun at parties, huh? The Insurance Information Institute says this comes at a time when the state average for homeowners insurance is $6,000. Okay, that's over 3 times the national average of $1,700. My parents live in North Dakota. I bet it's around $800 there. $6,000 here. Okay, in 2023, homeowners saw an average of a 42% increase in the rate, on top of the average rate increase of 33 the year before. As we know, insurance has gone up. So more competition in the market is now expected to cause some relief, and that's good news. That's good news. It's gonna be good news for you when y'all start buying your places. All right, I'm gonna just give you some names of some companies: Trail Row Insurance Companies, Mainsail Insurance Company, Orion 180, Orion 180 Select. I guess that's for the cool people. Orange Insurance Exchange, Condo Owners Reciprocal Exchange. That's a lot of our clients, condo owners. Maybe that's a thing for you. Manatee Insurance Exchange. Okay. Expectations are this will start to stabilize the market. Okay. What's this guy say? If I were to stick with the guys that I have been who have been insuring me in the past, they're almost $6,000. This owner said it went from $2,000 to $6,000. Some people call it a 3 times increase. That's a lot. That's a lot, especially when you're on fixed income, and I know a lot of people are, or if you're trying to make a number work on your investment and that cost moves, right? So there you go. There you go. But there's a little skepticism. One of the local real estate agents, must be in Orlando, says, number one, they are new. Okay, fair. They're unproven, fair. And when they say that you don't know how good a company is until they've been tested in a storm or they've been exposed to claims in a significant manner, you don't know. That's true. So if you're going to change your company, just be careful, because you don't know how good or bad a company is until you need them.
Yeah.
See, there's never a cop around until you need them, or when you need them. They're there when you're speeding, aren't they? or rolling through a stop sign. But if you're going to change your insurance company, just make sure you double check with what's going on. But the good news is with competition, that should create some sort of more competition,
for sure.
lower prices, better customer service. All right, last thing. What is it? Oh, cost and what it means. All right, check this out. Wall Street Journal. You've heard of that, right?
Yeah, a couple times.
Yeah, it's a news organization. They do not own us. Nobody owns us. We're free. I wish they owned us, quite honestly. All right, anyway, they came out and said home buyers, we deal with those, right, in the U.S. need to earn $47,000 more a year than they did in 2020. Okay, why? Here's why. Because the income level needed to comfortably afford a home in the U.S. has increased 80%, almost doubled since 2020. In the last 3 years, basically, it's up 80%. It's hard. You guys, you've seen it, right? You're looking at buying houses, right? And it's gone up. The problem is the median income of most folks has not gone up.
No.
80%.
No,
it has not. Back in the day, 30% of your income went to own a house. Now it's significantly more than that. And apparently according to this, now the roughly $106,500 a year income needed to comfortably afford a home is well above the typical U.S. household earnings each year, which is estimated to be 81. Housing costs have soared over the last 4 years as drastic hikes in home prices, mortgage rates, and rent growth have far outpaced wage gains, according to Zillow. Okay, and there's no doubt about it.
Yeah,
it's more expensive to buy a house. Mortgage rates are higher. Insurance is higher. Everything's higher.
We're in a tough market right now.
We're in a tough market right now. Now, here's the good news, right? We talked about the winter. The winter's going to move into the spring, and I think what's going to happen is all the price of houses skyrocketed, and all the expenses were left in the dust. So everybody was doing great on that leg, right? If you're an investor, you got a high price, but the cost didn't keep up. You were making that leg and you were loving it. I own properties. I was loving it, right? Now the expenses are like, wait a minute, wait for me. I want on this ride too. And the expenses are now caught up.
Yep.
So what's going to happen now, the expenses are caught up. Now the rents and the prices are going to start to go up again and create a new lag. It's going to be a good time to be a buyer. If you can get in, right?
For sure.
Okay. There you go. There's that. What's next, Jackson? I can't read. I got to use back.
Little statistics. We have any statistics for the people?
Stats. We got to talk stats. Okay. If you're an owner, if you're an investor, you want to know what's going on. So I got some stats right here. Look at them. Okay, here we go. Destin condos. We're going to talk about days on market. Now let's talk about days on market before we talk about days on market. Days on market is how long a property stays on the market before it goes under contract and sells. Okay. When the market's rolling, the days on market, 0. You got multiple offers, all that stuff going on. When it slows down, the days on market go up. Right. So look at Destin condos here. Sales days on market. It trends on the up, it looks like to me, right? Back in March of last year, it was what? 64? All right, so that's 2 months. Okay, look at January, jumped up to 101. That's a 30% increase. Yeah. So it's taken roughly now, what is that, 3 months, a little over 3 months to sell 84 here in February. So you're looking at roughly 3 months if you're going to sell a condo in Destin. All right. Let's go to the next one, Katie. What are we doing for houses in Destin? Is it going to come up? Houses in Destin, we're working on. Okay, good. All right, so here's houses in Destin. Same story, kind of up and down, right? We get busy in the spring break, right? March, April, May is spring break. People you know what happens on the houses? This is interesting, I think. I've been doing this a long time. March, April, May, what happens with houses is people are not moving out of houses. Kids are in school, kids are graduating, you got Mother's Day, you got a lot going on this period of time, right? The end of the test taking, getting ready for college, all that stuff is happening here. So your days on market go up because people aren't buying. Summertime rolls in, they're buy. So your days on market go down, right? Yeah. And then January, they go up there because I think what happens, it's a lag from Thanksgiving and Christmas, people aren't doing much, and so your days at market
it's like a holiday hangover.
Right?
That
Makes sense.
My
Makes
family
sense.
and I moved here in August, and that's
Okay.
right before school started, and they got us settled in before school started,
Yep.
so it makes sense.
That's good stuff to know as you look for when to buy or sell. How about 30A? What do we got on that? We're going to take a look. We'll look at condos first. Days on market for condos. That's really herky-jerky, isn't it?
Yeah.
March in the 60s, 2 months, climbs. August, 46. That's 6 weeks? But September, what on earth? You know what happens in September? SEC football, all those big hitters on there in 38 with their condos. Yeah. They're at all those SEC games, right? I bet Athens, Georgia, rocks. Oxford, rocks. Yeah, for sure. All right. Baton Rouge, right? Gainesville, right? Go Tigers, go Gators. Ooh. Yeah, so all right. And then, end of the year, it starts to climb again, and now we're back into spring break. How about the house days on market? Because again, days on market is really important because you're going to have people say, how long does it take to close? Well, we know it takes 2 to 3 months. It takes 2 to 3 months right now. Here's the houses on 30A. Same story, right? Not quite as drastic as the condos. I don't know if I can tell you why that is. But again, you're looking at 2 months in March, April, May, a little bit longer in the summer. I mean, it's all about 2 months. Looks like 2.5 months. January, a little bit high. And I think that's the hangover from the holiday season. Okay, how about Panama City? Does that kind of follow suit? I bet it does. When you start pulling these, where does Panama City show? Condos. This is a little bit more, I don't know, stable.
Yeah.
Right
Consistent.
there. 2 months. Same thing though, 2 months. Almost across the board with these condos. Yeah. Punch up the houses then, Katie, when it comes, and we'll look at those. So that's cool. This is so good to know when you guys are out there. If you're thinking about selling and you're trying to time it a little bit, just know it's going to be 2 months, 3 months. Houses over in Panama City Beach. Oh, they're trending faster. Towards the end of the year there. I wonder what that would be about. I don't know. Just natural ebb and flow of things. But yeah, back 2 years ago, you'd see single digits across there.
Wow.
Yeah, those are gone. All right. So there you are. If you're looking to sell, that's a good thing to know. How long is it going to take? It's going to take you 2 to 3 months. If you price it more aggressively, if you got a super cool place, you can go faster, right? That's a median on that. Some sell faster, some sell longer. Really comes down to price. Okay. Woo. All right. What's next? News. What is in the news? What are we talking about here?
Our feature, Okaloosa Island.
Yeah, we're going to Okaloosa Island.
Before we do the news, see, I got ahead of it. Our crack producer, Katie Luce, is on that though, right? She pulled us back. All right, so feature. Let's talk about the feature. The feature this week was where?
Okaloosa Island.
Yeah, we spent a good amount of time on the island this week. We, like I said, had our open house yesterday. We had 2 showings over in Venus on Okaloosa Island.
That's the pier.
Yep.
Jackson, can you go back to the pier? Is it too late? Go back to the pier. Jackson, you were a junior lifeguard.
I was a junior lifeguard.
You were too?
Yes.
Oh, for God's sake. Tell me, did you jump off that damn pier?
I have jumped off that pier right
Oh,
there.
my Lord.
Shark waters.
Oh, my Lord. Is that you? Is that you?
No, I'm already in the water. I've already landed.
in.
Yeah.
I see. Yeah, so as a junior lifeguard, you had to jump off that pier.
Got to jump off the pier. I always wanted to. It's the only legal time you're allowed to. So, I mean, if you're pushing 30s, 40s, try to sign up to be a junior lifeguard. It's the only way it's legal to jump off that pier.
Okay, well, I'm not going to jump off that pier. There was a day I would have, but it's gone. All right, so tell me, I don't know if everybody knows, this podcast is generally for folks from just east of Panama or Pensacola, Navarre Island, into Okaloosa Island, Destin, Miramar Beach, 30A, Panama City Beach, right? Where is Okaloosa Island in the scheme of things?
Yes. So that's a great question. Okaloosa Island is actually barrier island. It's in between Destin and Fort Walton Beach. It's in a great spot because it's only 20 minutes from BPS, the local airport here. And then once you're on Okaloosa Island, you're 10 minutes from the Destin Harbor, and then another 20 to get to the Commons, which is kind of like the middle part of
That's
Destin.
Shopping and dining.
That's your day-to-day shopping, dining activities, stuff like that.
So here, this is really cool, right? I'm from North Dakota, if I haven't said that, right? I've said that, right? North Dakota, me, John. All right, so here's the cool thing about in Rugby, North Dakota. Have you ever been there?
Yes, sir.
No, right? Nobody has, right? But in Rugby, North Dakota, it is the geographical center of North America, which means you're equidistant to the Atlantic, the Pacific, the Gulf of Mexico, and the Arctic Ocean. Is it the Arctic? It's one of them, right? But you're in the middle of nowhere is my point. And it's kind of cool. I live on a barrier island, right? I don't live on the mainland. That's a bunch of howlies on the mainland, right?
Yep.
I'm a howley anyway. Anyway, all right. So you're on this barrier island, Okaloosa Island, which I believe is just west of Destin, east of Fort Walton Beach, the two cities.
Yeah.
Okay.
Another thing that you touched on there, which is very interesting. In a couple months here, we're going to be an hour traffic to go 5 miles, but you lose track of the fact that, especially even on Okaloosa Island, you are 3 miles straight of beachfront property on one side of you, and then you go a mile wide and you're intercoastal the whole way. So it is tough to keep in your mind when you are going through these data activities where you are, because it is such a unique area. And then another insanely unique thing about Okaloosa Island, because if you come down to Destin, you'll see these big high rises. You go to Okaloosa Island, it's kind of flat. There's not those big buildings. What that is there's actually a building code over there that says these buildings can only build to 6 floors or 70 feet tall. You know, what's very interesting about that, especially from an investor standpoint, is they're not building any more beach. You know, you got what you got. And so what that really helps with is there's very low density on those beach days. If you come to Destin and 2 weeks from now during spring break, you're not gonna be able to see the sand.
Because there's chairs.
Yeah,
There's gonna be rows of people.
Yeah, 2 days ago, I was on the phone with a potential buyer, and he was like, I'm always seeing pictures of Destin, and the beaches are just crowded. You have rows and rows of chairs. You can't even see the water. It doesn't feel like you're on the beach.
That picture might be a little drastic. It's not quite like that, but I like it anyway. When was
you get
that?
an idea of a lot of people on the beach.
Wait, was that when they were giving away $1,000 bills on the beach? Okay, at any rate, but yeah, it is busy.
He was asking where do I go for the beach to not look like this?
See, there I am. I'm in the wet t-shirt contest, and I came in third. Oh my Lord!
I referred him over to Okaloosa Island because I told him what Jackson just said about the building code restriction, where they can only go up to 70 feet or 6 stories high, and then that's going to make the beaches less dense and less populated. So you're not going to be chair to chair with someone else. You know?
Yeah. So it's cool because Eglin Air Force Base, right? The largest land base
in the world.
In the world for the military. It's where the special ops train. It's all that. You can hear the bombs shooting, right? And the military flyovers of the planes and whatnot. So that's pretty cool. But they're as high as they are because back before, I think it was World War II, they were worried about submarines and battleships and the bad guys coming over here and getting us. They wanted to be able to get their radar over the buildings. So they made a moratorium on there. And now they've subsequently kept it that way. Now, as we talked about it, not going up.
Nope.
Like over here in Destin, I think you go 20 floors. There, you're at 6. So that means there's 14 floors of not having people in condos. That's a lot of people.
Right.
Yeah, it's a lot of vertical real estate. That's what it is.
Yeah.
And you're not worried about someone coming and building a high rise right in front of your condo and blocking your view. Like the view that you have it's always going to be there.
Yeah, you got what you got. And here's the thing. It's a supply and demand situation, right? On Okaloosa Island, you ain't getting no more. They're not going to build a 40-story high-rise with a gazillion properties. You got what you got. And when you're capped on supply, but you're unlimited on demand, price, right? So if you're an investor, I think, and I'm an investor on Okaloosa Island, I love it. I love it out there. Okay, so what is there to do? I mean, tell me a little bit of what, if I'm out there vacationing, or what's my life look like?
So a lot of people on Okaloosa Island, eating is obviously important when you're on vacation. Always eating out.
And drinking.
And drinking, of course. So 2 weeks ago, we went to Stubby's. The Gulf is an amazing restaurant. It's a new restaurant, actually. Great atmosphere. We have the crab trap. Let's see. We have AJ's. I know there's a taco place out there, and most of those places are right on the beach. So you're
Rockin' Tacos.
Rockin' Tacos, yeah. Great margaritas there, actually.
Wait, pause. How do you know that? You heard. I got it.
Yeah, Jackson told me, actually.
Yeah, I gave her a rave review.
Yeah.
You heard it. Okay, good.
As far as besides eating, we have the pier, which y'all saw. Jackson jumped off of it a few years ago. We have the.
You jump in and save them. Wouldn't that be awkward?
Absolutely not. I don't know how we got out.
Too bad, Jackson. Where'd you park?
And then we also have Adventure Zone, mini golf, ice cream everywhere. There's just tons of stuff to do for families, all ages. Just
Yeah, let me tell you.
activities.
I have condos out there. I have 1-bedroom condos pull in 80 grand a year. I got a 2 bedrooms pulls 120 grand. People like the vacation out there. It's a great place to own real estate. What else? Anything else out there? Who goes there? Families?
Family, everyone.
You guys don't go. You're single young adults. You're not hanging on Okaloosa Island.
No.
Not typically.
Yeah, no, please.
Unless we're going to Rockin' Tacos.
Yeah.
Then I'm not
Unless
really
I'm
on
jumping off
Okaloosa
the
Island.
pier.
Yeah. No, it's a family environment. Is that
Yeah,
true?
yeah. It's a little bit slower pace of life, wouldn't you say, Kaylee?
I would say winter we have our snowbirds, and then during the summer we have our vacationers. More short term during the summer, and then
mostly.
the snowbirds.
But there's some cool houses out there too, right?
Yeah, very unique properties. Like we were saying, like when you drive down one side of the road, it's all condos. The other side, it's all residential housing. And I mean, you will see some old Florida. And I don't know if people listening know what old Florida housing is. It basically just meant these people built these houses however they wanted and put whatever they wanted in it. And I don't know how else to explain it, but there's houses on Okaloosa Island that look like golf balls and igloos.
They do.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard to explain without seeing it, but yeah, it's completely true.
You'll have a golf ball type of house next to this mansion.
Yeah. Looks like a manor next to a spaceship, like Haley
Yeah,
said.
and a spaceship. But they're cool. We went inside a couple.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah, we
super
did. They're
cool.
awesome.
These are the creative types.
Mhm.
They're very unique. Very unique.
God, they're so cool. Now on Okaloosa Island, short-term rentals in condos you can, but what about the houses? Airbnbs out there?
No Airbnbs in the houses.
Okay. Yeah, you gotta be careful. If you don't use a good realtor and they tell you can Airbnb out on Okaloosa Island in a house,
You're in trouble.
use a good realtor. Use a good realtor. Condos all day long. Okay. Is there anything else cool about Okaloosa Island?
Yeah, I mean, as far as pricing on Okaloosa Island, when you're looking at those condos like we were talking about, your cheapest are going to come in at breakers around 200, 215, and then your most expensive are going to go all the way up to a brand new development out there called Blue. Those are going to be around 1.8. And so basically what we're trying to paint here is, especially for those investing people, anywhere in that range, we have places on that island. There's a place for you to get a foothold in this market. And so whether you want to drop $2 million or trying to save and, just test the waters, we have places for all those.
But if you do want to drop $2 million, we got folks.
Yeah, the most expensive home on Okaloosa Island right now is listed at almost 2.5. So yeah, come drop the $2 million, and then if you're looking for more,
That's on the water, I would imagine.
Yeah.
The
definitely
Gulf
the
or
Gulf.
the Intercoastal?
The intercoastal, and it's probably got in the back a little dock area. So that's another. This is a huge boating community as well. I don't know if we've touched on this podcast, but that intercoastal is great. It'll connect you all the way to Pensacola, all the way to Panama City. You can run inside of the Gulf. You never even have to touch the Gulf.
You know what? I was told, I don't know if y'all know this or not, but I believe you can go on the Intercoastal all the way to New Orleans.
You can. You have to cross Lake Pontchartrain though. At some point, I've heard. But yes, you don't have to go into the Gulf of Mexico directly to get all the way to New Orleans.
Right? And if you get to New Orleans, you can get on the Mississippi River and go all the way up to Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Yeah.
And wait, there's more. I think you can go on the easterly way to Jacksonville and take an intercoastal all the way. Can you go? How high can you go? Can you go all the way to DC area? Am I right?
Somewhere
on this?
around there. I think it's that Baltimore area because they have that big Bay Area. And then, I mean, it's
cool.
It's a world of possibilities. I mean, and then obviously, if you go on the Gulf, you can go straight down to Cuba.
You can go wherever you want.
Yeah.
Now, here's the other thing about Okaloosa Island. If you don't know the area, we're a little bit promoting it right now because I think it's cool. But there's only a few places in the world where you can live in your house, full-time house, go out your front street or your front door, cross a hardly any street, and you're on a public beach access to a world-class beach in the Gulf of Mexico where the summer water temperature is around 83, 86 degrees, something like that. Or you go out your back door, walk through your backyard onto your dock, and you're on a boat that can take you anywhere in the world.
Yeah.
There's not very many places like that in the world.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing about this area is it really sells just itself. When you're here, you can see it. It's tough to convey this over this medium because it kind of sounds a little out there. I know, but I mean, if you're ever down here in the area, you know exactly what we're talking about.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if that's something you want to look at, if you're a boater or if you're somebody like that, a little bit of a free spirit maybe, give us a shout. info@smartbeachinvestor.com. We'll give you some more info. Okay. Great. Okaloosa Island, we love it, but let's move on.
What's new in the area? Let's see. Destin. Okay, I'm going to be talking about the new Publix. So Destin already has one Publix. It's kind of by the shopping center, the Destin Commons, kind of in the heart of Destin. And they are putting in another Publix on the other side of Destin, what we call Old Destin. So they're tearing out the old time pottery and the movie theater and a few like shopping centers that were there. This is kind of by my house and by where Anna lives, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so what we do consider this part of Destin, Old Destin, just because everything was built so long ago. And so we're hoping with this new construction that it's going to kind of revamp that area and add value to the homes in that area. And
yeah, if you own real estate over that way, you're probably singing, especially if you've got your homestead exemption in, because the price is about to go to the moon over there if they haven't already.
And they plan to have that done May of 2024, so very soon.
No, nice. Because here's the thing, right? Publix does it right. They come in with a very nice setup. And it's not just a grocery store. They've got the ancillary, easy for me to say, ancillary, see, again.
Ancillary.
That too. All the stuff that goes there, right? All the stuff. And it automatically upgrades the neighborhood.
100%.
Oh, it does.
And I think I'm pretty sure of this, the elementary school not too far from there is also going to be adding on and expanding. So you can have a newer, bigger school. Destin High School is a new thing that's growing. So there's a lot of really cool things happening in Destin. And do y'all know what's going on the harbor over there or on the bay? I think there's a lot of talk about developing, not on the Emerald Grand side, but on the other side, right? By McGuire's Pizza, they got that place.
I've been seeing that construction.
There's a lot going to go on right there. So that whole area, that end of Destin, look out.
For sure.
Yeah, I'm right. My daughter owns in that area, and like your parents own over there.
Yes, sir. We love it. It's
super
quiet,
excited about it.
It's awesome.
Super. What else?
Yeah, going out to 30A for all you 30A info people. If you have driven down Highway 30A in the past 3-4 months, ever since October.
Oh, I've been hearing this from everybody.
Noticed that there's a problem. They're fixing one of the bridges, what it really comes down to. But the bigger issue of this is it cuts 30A in half. So on one side of this bridge, you've got your watercolor, your seaside, your sea grove, and then on the other side, you've got your Alice Beach, your Rosemary. And so basically where this bridge sits, that is now cut, you cannot go drive through 30A. So what that happens is you basically add 30 minutes to your round trip by going back up to Highway 98, going around, coming down. And so one of the results of that is the businesses to the west of this bridge are reporting a 60% or greater decrease in revenue.
Killer.
Because the traffic is not running through their businesses.
You know what I heard, and I don't know if this is true. This is what I heard, right? Just a little chatter, right? But I heard they went out they had some money. The state or something had some money, and they had to spend it by a certain date. So what they did is they went out and they interviewed a bunch of folks, and the cheapest person got the bid, cheapest company. But the other company said, we're going to do one lane and leave one lane open. This guy said, no, we're going to shut down the whole damn thing. And so they went the cheap route, and now they're paying.
Yeah, I was reading with that. Their estimate was $1 million for closing the whole thing. And then closing one lane, they said it would take so much time that it would end up costing $13 million. I don't know about how that increase in math works. I'm not a math major, but sounds pretty out there. And then closing on that, I mean, the bridge is supposed to open tomorrow. I was driving down this road 4 days ago. The bridge did not look like it's ready to open Friday, tomorrow, March 1st. So what that's really going to cause is a big problem in a couple weeks if it's not done. Spring break is
spring break.
And,
that's going to be a mess.
Yeah, we'll tell you. People could tell you. I mean, I'm sure everyone listening has heard spring break PCB. It's spring break Destin. I mean, this community balloons probably to around 4 times the normal population.
Lots.
And something with the road being down is all the rage. I mean, you can't have a road down. We just finished our new highway out here. That was a nightmare. But another thing that we've been trying to tell people all this offseason is the season's here. This marks the beginning. Up until August 15th, It's gonna be a rock and roll show here. There's gonna be so many people coming in and out. The short-term rentals. This is when they're going to cash flow. Is this time of the year?
Yeah,
Yep.
my sister's on her way home from college right now, so that means spring break is here.
Do you think she's gonna go rockin' tacos from under this?
She better bring me.
Just sneak in the back door. Oh my word. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, the bridge is out. Spring break. We talked about that. It's not nearly as bad. I heard a lot of folks are going down to Miami. My son's going to Miami this weekend.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But yeah, I heard, and I think there was an article in the Wall Street today about how they're bracing. Miami's saying, no, we don't want you. They're going to move up to Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah.
When I was in college, that's where you went. Fort Lauderdale, spring break. Look out. Yoo-hoo. I went to Daytona, and I think I won a belly flop contest.
I'm sure you
Can we get that pulled up,
5
Katie?
years in a row.
Can we get that footage pulled up real quick?
5 years in a row, right? I was the older than average student. I was that guy, like, who's that? Woo! No. That was before, right? I had a clip-on ponytail. Oh, my word. I don't even know if it was clip-on. I think it was the rat tail. It was the real thing. It's hard when you're cool, right? So yeah, you got that. I think what else is going on? Panama City. What do we got going over there?
So Dollywood announced that they plan to build a new Pirates Voyage dinner and show near Pier Park and PCB.
Wow.
It's expected to cost $60 million.
But
it is expected to create 300 job opportunities, so that's exciting. They expect to be open in spring of 2025. They say they're going to have pirates, mermaids, acrobatics, and songs.
Yeah,
So
it looks
exciting.
great. It looks great.
John, do you think it'll be open from 9 to 5?
What are you saying?
Like
September through May, or what are we doing here?
The Dolly Parton
No, it looks
song.
good. Yeah, working 9 to 5. All right, it took me a minute. You were just trying to get me to sing. I get that.
Yeah, I wanted to hear it.
So, the interesting thing that jumps out at me about that, I love it, right? Dolly, love her, right? Islands in the Stream, all of it. 9 to 5, right? I will always love you. Look at me. I'm like a fan. But what it tells me is whoever's putting that up, they do their research. They're just not, you know what? Let's just throw this out there and see. No, it's not a build it and
It's
they
not
will
a
come.
guess.
This is only their third new location.
Okay, so yeah, this isn't an accident. They expect this area of the world to blow up and just keep growing. So if I'm an investor, like I am, if y'all are investors out there, or you're thinking about being an investor, Florida, in fuego, right? On fire. Is that Spanish? I don't know. I saw it on Sports Center back. Yeah, Bad Bunny was saying it. Right, Bad Bunny. The magician said it, and the next thing I know, my wallet was on fire. Any rate, it tells me this is a great place. Florida, yes. Most of Florida, though. Katie, can you go back and show where the bridge was? This was interesting. I was going to say something. Go back to that. It seems like there's so much room here. Look at all that green space. It seems like but that's federal government.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
State parks.
That is never going to be developed. That's not like, I can't wait to get my hand. Never going to be developed. What can be developed is already, you can see where that is. So that represents Florida. What can be developed mostly has. And with all these people moving here, it's amazing what's going on. And places like Dollywood will not go to a place Dolly World or whatever the heck it's called, would not go to a place that they didn't think was going to make it.
Yeah.
Right.
By a long shot. So yeah.
I don't see any new condos going up in Destin when I drive down the road. There's no new construction for condos.
Yep.
They're just
Goes back to supply and demand, right?
Exactly.
If you got one, good. It's going to go up in value. If you can
Exactly.
get one, you should buy one because over time, like we looked at last week, goes up. So there you go. What else are we going? What next week? What are we doing next week?
next week. We are going to be having an open house on Wednesday from 2 to 4. It's going to be over in 30A, Dunes of Seagrove. Jax and I will be there, and we're also going to be doing it live. The live will be at 2 on our Facebook.
On Wednesday?
On Wednesday.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
cool. Yeah, we'll do some stuff from 30A. We'll get some footage on all kinds of cool stuff. I love 30A. Those different communities are so great.
Oh, it's beautiful down there.
It's special. You know what's really cool? If you guys, I know you've done this, but when you rent the bikes down there, in Rosemary or, Seacrest or wherever, and you ride through those alleys and stuff. So fun. So
I think
cool.
we should do that on our field trip on Monday, actually. I vote bikes.
We should do it as a team building exercise.
Yes, team bonding.
And we should wear like big bubble suits and hit each other when we're riding bikes.
Or
Yeah.
you
God,
wear
that'd
the
be great.
suit and we'll hit you.
Oh, even better. All right. So that's what we're doing next week.
What's next Thursday at 5?
And next Thursday at 5, we'll be back here to tell you all about. Jackson's going to have a review of that concert, Bad Bunny.
Yeah.
The country version of Bad Bunny. It's going to be amazing. Kaylee's probably going to be in jail with your sister. I'll bail you out. Maybe. Just make sure it's before 8. Other than that, I don't know. Katie, what are you doing? You and Martin got anything? You taking your slow-moving vehicle out?
Probably. It's weather's getting nicer.
She has a slow-moving vehicle. Is that what it's called?
It's a Polaris jet.
But what is it called?
A slow-moving vehicle.
Like a SMV? It's an SMV.
English, please.
Slow-moving vehicle. They get going fast. It's like
Electric.
they hit the gas, but it's electric, so it goes like from 0 to 5 pretty fast. So you're like, "Ooh." And then you kind of plane out fast. I love it. All right, so yeah, there you go. That's what we're doing. Hey, if you have any questions at all about what's happening here on Florida's Emerald Coast, give us a call or whatever. Tune in next week. We'd love to hear from you. That would really make this cool. I know we're just getting started.
Yeah.
I don't think my mom's on it. She passed, but she's probably watching from up there.
I'm sure.
Definitely.
Right. I don't think my wife's watching, which is unfortunate, or my kids. Okay, whatever.
None of my family's on it too. Don't feel bad.
Nice. Your sister's probably listening to it on her way here.
I don't know.
I'm sure your brother is, right? Jackson Coops.
Yeah,
dialed in on it?
we got some big guests in the future.
We
You know,
do.
yeah. We had to cancel.
We got good Bunny.
Yeah, we had to cancel on Peter Thiel because we're gonna have Warren
Seriously,
Buffett
right?
on. Yeah, I know. It's
You can only have
scheduling
we only have
conflict,
so many
yeah,
microphones.
I know.
All right. Okay, there you go. Hey, have a great week. All right, we'll get you next week.
Bye, guys.
Bye.